Hi, welcome back to the Stovetop. So today I'd like to do a simple comparison between ordinary store brand maraschino cherries and Traverse City Whiskey Company premium cocktail cherries. Now one is sweet and one is tart, so maybe this isn't a fair comparison, but I'm going to do it anyway. Now nutritionally, both of them show the serving size as one cherry. Both are 10 calories. Beyond that, it's really hard to say which one you might like better, but I'm going to give you my opinion in this video. So let's get to the taste test. Alright, for the first test, what I'm going to do is simply just have one of each cherry. Now, in between, to cleanse the palate, I'm going to take a shot of rum. And you might say, why rum? Well, because one of the ingredients on the Traverse City Whiskey Premium Cocktail Cherries is bourbon whiskey. Now it says contains no alcohol, but still, that could affect the taste. So to try to be somewhat objective, I'll go ahead and go with an entirely different kind of alcohol to cleanse the palate between cherries. Now first off, I'd like to say you can right off the bat see the color is different. The maraschino cherry is a much lighter color, and the syrup consistency is really thin and runny versus this dark cherry here with the cocktail cherry. And the syrup, although it is somewhat runny, it is a little bit thicker in consistency. Now as far as the smell, the maraschino cherry has a very light, sweet smell, almost confectionery sugar kind of like smell. The cocktail cherry, it has a different kind of sweet smell. It's not as, it doesn't smell as light. It's kind of hard to explain. I mean, I kind of want to say it smells a little bit more fruity. I guess what I mean is it smells a little bit more like maybe berries as opposed to having this light sweet smell. So going with the store brand maraschino, go ahead and eat it. The fruit is really easy to chew and swallow, and although the syrup is kind of runny, the taste kind of stays with you. Now there's no spices in the ingredients, there's no cinnamon, but it almost has just this like hint of a cinnamon kind of a taste, or a little, I don't even want to call it a bite, that's giving it too much credit, but there's something in there that kind of gives it just a little almost spice, I guess you could say. Now for the control, we'll have the rum. That definitely cleansed the palate. So let's go ahead and try the cocktail cherry. The syrup is much heavier. The consistency of the cherry is a little bit more, seems to be a little bit thicker, a little bit more difficult to chew, but not hard to chew and swallow at all. I wouldn't say that this is, it's sweet, but it's a different kind of sweet, and there really isn't any spice to it or anything else like that. The cocktail cherry is not bad at all. I'd say overall, it maybe doesn't have any sort of, the taste doesn't go from one to another or spike a little bit or anything else like that. It's just kind of consistent all the way across the board. So let's go ahead and do another test and just wrap this up, and I'll give you my opinions on which one I think is better. So for this test, I'm going to try out both cocktail cherries in a simple glass of whiskey. Now initially I thought about going with Traverse City Whiskey Company bourbon. This is some really good whiskey, it's really smooth, and I really like it. However, I do believe that would give an unfair advantage to the Traverse City Whiskey Company Premium Cocktail Cherry. So we're not going to use that. Instead, we're going to use this inexpensive blended American whiskey that a lot of people probably wouldn't like, but I will say this: if you're on a budget, Out of some of the less expensive whiskeys I've tried, this one is not that bad. So I'm going to go ahead and pour a glass for each, about the same amount in there. I'm going to go ahead and put in one maraschino cherry and a spoonful of syrup and drizzle it in there. Go ahead and mix it around. I'm going to rinse the spoon. I'll be right back. And with the magic of the pause button, I'm back. So the spoon is rinsed. Let's go ahead and put in the Traverse City Whiskey Company cherry. And let's try to get a spoonful of the syrup and drizzle it in there. Go ahead and stir that. So to cleanse the palate in between each, I'm simply going to have some ordinary Faygo Cola. So let's start off with the store brand maraschino cherry. I can't smell any cherry over the whiskey. Not that the whiskey's got a really strong smell. That did nothing for the taste. I can taste the whiskey. I do not taste the cherry in that at all. Now for the palate cleansing. Alright, now for the Traverse City Whiskey Company Premium Cocktail Cherry. I don't smell it over the whiskey. No discernible change in the taste either. So, since the second test really didn't prove out anything, I'm going to have to go off the first test. And my opinion is that I prefer the Traverse City Whiskey Company Premium Cocktail Cherry over the store-bought Maraschino Cherry. However, I do think that in certain applications, this might be a better choice. It really depends on who you're making the cocktail for, or in other applications that aren't cocktail related, this sweet cherry would be a good choice. However, overall, I would recommend this if you want to kind of get into amateur bartending the way I have, as far as just playing around with different recipes for cocktails, or if you're having company over and you want to maybe give them something that they ordinarily wouldn't buy, because this is pretty pricey compared to just buying this at the store. So most people probably have not tried this, or don't keep this in their liquor cabinet or something else like that. So it is a little bit different, but it's not bad at all. And personally, I prefer it in my cocktails. Those that don't have a taste that kind of overwhelms it. So if you don't have these available in your area, they are available for order online. I'll include a link in the description section to the Traverse City Whiskey Company. You can also buy things like their hand sanitizer and their simple syrup online and have it shipped right to your home. Thanks for watching.